We'll use an enzyme to break down starch, and we will follow the progress of the reaction by testing the solutions to see if they still contain starch. The apparatus is fairly common. We should realise though that there is a risk that some people may be allergic to the enzyme solution. The iodine solution may also act as a mild irritant, and as we're using the Bunsen burner to make a small water bath, we must be aware of burning ourselves and getting splashes in our faces. The apparatus is fairly common. It's highlighted on your apparatus list. This is a spotting tile. They are 12 dimples, 12 spots, and we start by placing a drop of iodine into each spot or dimple. You don't have to squeeze very hard, it just pops like a drop. And you do whichever order you like, one drop in each dimple. So that's 12. That should be more than enough for my purposes today. So I need to make sure that my solutions are all at the temperature I'm expecting to work at. So for this purpose I'm going to use a large empty beaker. I'll fill that with warm water, and I will use that as my water bath to make sure the temperature is correct. So I'll need a thermometer somewhere along the line. In order to get the right temperature for the reaction to take place, which in our case is going to be 25 degrees Celsius, we can use a water bath. Now the water bath could either be heated by a Bunsen burner, or it could be the larger electrically operated water baths. Then of course you have to be aware of keeping the water away from the electricity. Or we could just use hot water from a tap and have that a little bit warmer than the temperature we need for our reaction. Right, now that is about 25 degrees Celsius, so I'll use this as my water bath. Let's take that away. Right, here's a shot of one of our reliable water baths. This one here is set to 25. It's full of water. The three solutions will be placed inside, and they will warm up in the warm water. There's a lid just in case, but warm up in the warm water, and we can take them out at the required temperature. So sometimes one of these is used. You can get lots of beakers in there, and other times we individually use a small beaker as a water bath. That is definitely it. Okay, here I have 3 test tubes. I've labelled them 1, 2 and 3. They contain each a solution of starch, an amylase solution, that's my number 2, and the third one is a buffered solution. Now as you know, enzymes have a preferred pH range that they prefer to work at. So in order to optimise their working range, that solution will keep the pH to exactly what it should be. There's the buffer solution bottle that we take it from. Okay, I've checked the temperature, and they're very much at the temperature 25 degrees C that I want to be working at. These are my 3 individual samples, and I'm ready to take out 2 cubic centimeters out of each one, so I can mix them into a 4th tube where they will do the reaction. And then once the reaction starts, I will take a sample of the reaction mixture every 30 seconds. Okay? Right, here we are, almost ready to begin. We have the solutions in their test tubes, in their water bath, and they've come up to the appropriate temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. Oh, absolutely perfect. I've got 3 pipettes which I will use to take them out and mix them into a 4th test tube. And then once I've mixed them in a 4th test tube, they will start to react. Then I can take a sample out of the test tube and place it into each of my spots at 30-second intervals. Sounds like fun? Sounds easy. Let us begin. Starch, amylase and buffer. 1, 2, 3. Right. I will only use the pipette for one solution, and this one holds 1 ml up to there. I need 2 ml, so I shall have to do it twice. It's not perfect, but here it goes. So up to there is 1 ml. Squeeze it in there. 1. 2. Right. Now for the next solution, I'll use a clean pipette. There should be the starch. It's 1 up to the neck. 1. And finally the buffer solution. Typical. Oh, this one is 2 to there. There we go. 2. Right, I don't need that anymore, so I'll put that out the way. Give it a bit of a mix. Oops. Bit of a mix. And then I am ready to start the stop clock. Every 30 seconds I will take a drip from there and drop it in there, and then as the reaction proceeds I'll have starch to start with, but later on there will be no starch, and that's when I know that the amylase has broken down the starch into other products. 23 seconds gone. I'll just dip it in there. 27, 29, take it out on 30, and I'm just going to rest it against the well. There we go. It goes purple. That was a very clumsy attempt. Right, I've got another go in. Turn my dipstick over. 55 seconds. Try and get a drip on the end this time. And I put it in the well, and there you go. You can see it goes instantly blue-black. So we let the clock carry on running for another 30 seconds, and then we're ready to test it again a bit later. And this has gone blue-black. So that one still contains the starch in the solution. It'll roll down. It will roll down, and there you go. That one's reacted blue-black. So at 2 minutes we still have starch present. And we'll put that back in there. And we'll wait another 30 seconds, and when that 30 seconds up we'll test it again. Okay. Yeah, there's a drop. Absolutely, another blue-black solution. Wait another 30 seconds, and so we carry on. Now this is at 25 degrees. Obviously this has been cooling down throughout. We can do the reaction at different temperatures. Okay. Another 30 seconds, and we test again. Right, I'm trying not to get the glass rod into the iodine. I think it would have been easier to do it the other way. If I then add the iodine to that one, it's not going to roll down, so I think it could roll up. Blue-black again, so starch is still present. Now obviously your starch solution will be prepared on the day, and it may not take as long as this for your reaction to go to completion. You just have to make sure that every 30 seconds you take a sample, and you place it on the side close by so it can roll down into the iodine. There we go. Finally, great technique. The starch is still present. There's nothing else to say really, except to remind you that the iodine will stain your clothes, and it's also a slight irritant. The amylase, some people are allergic to the enzymes, and so much so that they can't use biological washing powders. The starch solution is fairly innocuous. Right, this is after a number of tests. As you can see, we still have starch present. We'll just carry on testing until there is no starch detected. You'll know when there's no starch detected when the solution and the iodine stay yellow, well, pale yellow, brown. We've got to talk about the risk. There's obviously the risk that the iodine will stain your clothes. It's a slight irritant. The amylase solution, that is also an irritant, and some people so much can't use biological washing powders. Nothing else of any much danger, apart from the fact that a heated water bath can pose a risk of scalds and burns, and if you use the electrical one, there's a risk of shocks where you have water and electricity in close proximity. I think that's about it really. Just one more. So the technique is, get a drop, put it on the edge of the well, it will roll down, and where it needs a bit of help, a tap, it goes, and it mixes together. That's about it. Right, I'm not going to take this as completion, you'll have to do that yourself. It'll spoil the fun if I tell you the results. That's it.